Coach, when you look at all the young talent, you guys have on the defensive line with, Shamar Stewart and Walter Nolan and, Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy, have you ever had that kind of talent before on the defensive line? And do you feel like these guys are the kind of true freshmen that can make an immediate impact?
I think the most important thing when you get young guys is just, again, teaching them the small things, like doing the ordinary things. Like I said, they was talented, probably the best in the country as high school players. I think when they get on this level, you got to teach them the ordinary things. You can't jump ahead. You can't let these guys get too far ahead. Coaching them details, teach them how to be a pro. That's by just doing the small things, and I think that's where it starts at.
We'll go front row on the left.
Coach, you guys got another commit from a Philadelphia player yesterday. You have had incredible success at the Northeast quarter the last several years. What's the trick of the trade there? I mean, is it just being a Camden guy, knowing how to talk to him, or is it something else?
I don't think it's a trick. It's about building relationships, and obviously there's relationships in that area. But also, our support staff do a great job. And I think it's not just about the connections I have, but when these kids get on campus, and the people, our staff, the support staff, the 12th man, all the things that this school can do for those guys outside of football is truly to sell. They come here, they feel at home. I think that's the biggest thing.
We'll go fourth row on the right, and then we'll go to Olin.
Coach, your confidence level with that line, just it's completely different, obviously, and the way they have come together just going into the season.
I think the older guys did a really good job this summer, getting those guys around them, teaching them, again, the small things, the details, how to be on time, how to do the ordinary things. And McKinley Jackson, Isaiah Rakes, Shamar Turner, those guys did a really good job with the young guys, and they lead by example, and those other guys just follow.
We'll go second row on the right.
Hi, Coach. Seems like y'all had a really strong pass rush last year, but about 90% of that, the sacks that were accounted for last year has gone on to the NFL and other places. So you see these guys every day. How difficult do you think it's going to be to kind of replace that production, and how confident are that y'all can?
When you look at it, like you said, we lost some really good players. We all know that. These guys has been here. They had the great thing is they had a chance to be behind those guys that left. And those guys, they've been working. They watched the way that Marv and Mike Clemens and Tyree and Jaden Peavy, how they worked. And those guys, they're going to work their butt off to be good for us this year. So we got to continue to coach them up. They got to continue to buy into that process and go from there.
We'll go to Brent on the front row, and then we'll go to the back.
I know you had spent some time in Waco prior to here, but what was it ultimately that brought you to Texas A&M? What was it now, almost 5 years ago or 5 years ago?
I always pass this town on my way going to go recruit, and every time it grabbed my eyes. And I truly didn't understand what Gig'em meant. I always passed by a barn that had a big white painting that said Gig'em. I had no idea what that barn was. But I always drove past, and I wondered what College Station was like. When I had the opportunity to work for Coach Fisher, that was something I couldn't turn down. To be in the SEC, have an opportunity to work under Coach Fisher, one of the best coaches I've ever been around. And also, when I learned about the 12th Man Foundation, just what this school can bring, you understand two things. You get an opportunity to play in the SEC. You can sell that, but also get a great education and be able to be great at life at the ball. So when you have all those things to sell because of this great organization and this great university, why not?
You think you and Coach Price provide a pretty formidable 1-2 punch on the recruiting front for the defensive line in that area as well?
I think Coach Price is an amazing mentor to me. He went to school here, he played here, he understands everything about Texas A&M, so he made my transition easy.
All right, Coach, you're going to go to the back on the right. Justin?
Hey, Coach. Over the years, we always hear about edge rushing, getting all the sacks. The interior guys, though, you coach them. Obviously, run, you want them to stop the run, but how much of the pass rush can be affected inside now in this type of game?
Yeah, so you have to work together as a unit to create pass rush. And sometimes you got to understand it's not all about getting the sack. It's about affecting the quarterback. So if that's just pushing the pocket inside, that's a big thing. All right, we got to make sure that there's no escape lanes as well, so our edge guys can get there. And then there may be times where we want our guys inside to win. So we got to work together as a unit. And again, it's not just about sacks. It's about affecting the quarterback. If we affect the quarterback, we've done our job.
We go front row on the right. We got time for a couple more.
Coach Jimbo always talks about in the secondary that they want to play matchups and coverages. Certain players have to go against certain formations. Is it the same way in the defensive line where you'll have certain players maybe move inside to be a zero tech, or certain players only rush on third down? How do you go about playing these guys with a very deep defensive line?
Well, you look at personnel first. Obviously, you want to look at matchups, and we do the same thing on the defensive front. You know, you've seen over the years, Kingsley Keke being a guy to play inside and outside. The Marvin Leal being a guy to play inside and outside. And we have those body types of guys that can do that. So if we see there's a matchup, we'll try to do that and set that up.
We'll go third row on the left, Tyler.
Coach, have you seen McKinley Jackson kind of step into a leadership role this year, and just what are your expectations for him this year?
I think it's natural when you see the older guys move on, that next guy takes the place. I think he started off as a guy that kind of watched Jaden Peavy and watched those guys, and now he's the older guy. So he's just, I think he's embracing the role as a leader. I'm watching the young guys gravitate to him. He's trying to teach them the things that he learned, and he's doing a really good job at it.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.